Peace, peace. It's your girl Cosmic Paradox, and I'm back with another movie scene breakdown. And this time we're looking at the movie Trading Places. That's right, the classic from 1983. Now, this movie carries a much deeper occult and esoteric message than we may realize because it's wrapped up in the comedic scenario of social experimentation. Now, this film is a modern parable on class, fate, and the hidden hand that manipulates society from the top down. Now, let's break down some of these esoteric symbolic messages, particularly the polarizing themes of the movie. But first, let's take a look at this scene real quick. Let me roll the clip.
That man is a product of a poor environment. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. I can prove it.
Of course there's something wrong with him. He's a Negro. Probably been stealing since he could crawl.
Given the right surroundings and encouragement, I'll bet that that man could run our company as well as your young Winthorpe.
Are we talking about a wager, Randolph? I suppose you think Winthorpe, say if he were to lose his job, would resort to holding up people on the streets?
No, I don't think just losing his job would be enough for Winthorpe. I think we'd have to heap a little more misfortune on those narrow shoulders. If he lost his job and his home and his fiancée and his friends, if he were somehow disgraced and arrested with the police and thrown in jail even, yes, I'm sure he'd take to crime like a fish to water.
You'd have to put him in the wrong surroundings, of course, with the worst sort of people. I mean real scum, Randall.
We've done it before. This time it's in a good cause. How much you want to bet?
The usual amount?
Why not?
And before we dive in, I want to get started by saying that I have a great affinity for comedians. They are some of my favorite people on earth. They are truly doing the great work in their art form of their craft. You see, comedy is one of the most effective tools for exposing the shadow and creating an opening for integration in shadow work. It allows us to confront the hidden, suppressed, and often uncomfortable parts of ourselves in a way that bypasses our defensive mechanisms. And that's because laughter disarms the ego. When something is presented as a joke, the subconscious mind allows it to pass through without triggering the usual resistance. This is why comedians can say things that, if it's spoken in a more serious tone and atmosphere, it will be met with outrage or denial. For example, in this movie, we laugh at how absurd it is that two rich men would casually destroy someone's life just to win a bet, and a bet for $1 at that. Yet, beneath the laughter, the audience is forced to acknowledge the hidden reality of class manipulation and how fragile social identity really is. In shadow work, the ego fights to suppress painful truths, but comedy allows these truths to be acknowledged in a way that feels safer. So when we look at the movie, the Duke brothers, they're two elite figures. They're conducting a wager to see if environment, which is nurture, or inherent nature, which is genetics, determines success. This is a direct nod to Hermetic principles, especially the law of polarity. The law of polarity states that opposites are actually two extremes of the same thing. The movie visually plays out this concept. Rich becomes poor, poor becomes rich, and yet both of these individuals are fundamentally the same when placed in the opposite situation. This also reflects the Wheel of Fortune archetype that is found in both the Tarot and Kabbalah. One's status in society is never fixed, but part of a cosmic cycle, manipulated by those who understand and control the system. Let's look at the hidden hand concept. The Dukes operate like occult puppet masters, deciding the fate of individuals for their own amusement. This is a metaphor for the real world elite, powerful families, secret societies, and financial institutions who manipulate global conditions, often through social engineering experiments. You see, the movie suggests that reality itself is an illusion, easily restructured by those who hold the keys to wealth and influence. Now, both Louis Winthorpe and Billy Ray Valentine undergo alchemical transmutation, which is a core concept in the occult, where the soul is refined through trials and tribulations. You have Winthorpe's fall from grace, which is the beginning stages. Then you have Valentine's rise, and then you have their partnership and revenge plot, which is their purified soul that has transcended the system, i.e., the integration. Now, not to mention the whole thing with the stock market, that subplot is crucial. The Dukes use inside information to control commodities, much like the real life banking elite manipulate financial systems. The resolution of the movie, where Winthorpe and Valentine beat them at their own game, symbolizes the triumph of those who break free from the system and learn its secrets. This is showing you that knowledge is indeed power. Trading places is both a revelation and a warning. It pulls back the curtain on how elite forces control the destinies of the masses, while showing that those who awaken can reclaim power by understanding and navigating the hidden systems. What it's showing you is that reality is mutable. Those who understand the rules of the game, be it finance, psychology, and power structures, can flip the system in their favor. However, those who remain ignorant are merely pawns in someone else's great experiment. Peace.